We knew nothing at all about the recipient of the liver. We didn't know who the person was, male, female, adult or child. But you still have a responsibility to try and get the organ to the hospital as quickly as you can, because someone's life depends on it. And that is the motivation behind you, as it were.
It's something I've never done before. It's the first for me, and it's not something that I relish, because obviously you know that somebody is critical in a hospital, and someone will of course have died, so there's no pleasure in it.
The patient had in fact already undergone one transplant operation, but her body was chronically rejecting the new liver. This second replacement liver was vital for her survival. Before the donor organ left the Hull hospital, a medical team had already assessed its suitability, and the operation was started on the assumption it would arrive on time. Without a new liver, there was no chance of survival. At speeds of over 50 miles an hour through the city, the police are making good progress, but there are still 5 miles to travel in just 13 minutes through London's busy West End. It doesn't look good.
As we drove along the embankment, we were told over the radio by our control room that they had been in touch with the hospital and told them to expect us in 10 minutes. I looked at my watch, checked the time and thought, oh dear.
The hospital are relying on the officers to arrive within an allotted time. The police have to tread a fine line between safety and speed, but they now know more than ever that someone's life is depending on them, and they may not make it in time.
When we were going along the embankment, we got called up to say that the hospital had obviously asked where we were, and an ETA of 10 minutes had been given. And I think Steve said to me, he said they'll have started the operation now. He said, because when we get there, I think it's just a straight transplant in. And I was aware in my own mind that if we didn't get there, the person would die.
From the embankment, the police still have roughly 4 miles to cover, and with the average speed of London traffic down to just 10 miles an hour, time is running out.
They're going to send you the wrong side of the mail, driver. On the opposite side of the Reading Station, driver.
From Northumberland Avenue, the patrol cars drive toward Trafalgar Square, where the police have cleared a route through to the Mall. This is the very heart of London, and filled with tourists. But these drivers have no time to admire the sights.
When we went down the Mall, we had 2 City of London solo riders there who were brilliant, they were. In fact, one of them, I think, actually packed up motorcycling some days afterwards. He was so exhausted from that. It may not seem much to you if you look at it. His bike, in fact, packed up. In fact, you can see large plumes of smoke coming from the rear of it. And when we got to the wedding cake, we actually went off to the right. Unbeknown to me, it had been kept clear for us and came as a bit of a surprise to me.
Just past Buckingham Palace, the police still face the daunting task of travelling 3 miles through the busy streets of Kensington before they can even think of reaching the hospital.
And then when we went up through Constitution Hill, we came up to Hyde Park Corner, and Steve said to me, he said, you can actually go straight over here. And lo and behold, we did go straight over. So again, that saved valuable time.
Straight through the gate, turn left.
We then got diverted. Our original plan was to go down through Knightsbridge, and we got diverted down to South Carriage Road because of traffic congestion. And along there, that's when I basically was following the leader. I didn't know where we were going. I wasn't too familiar over there.
For these police officers based on the outskirts of London, these roads are unfamiliar. They rarely venture into the centre of London. However, a long straight road is a blessing. And with only 8 minutes to go, speeds of over 60 miles an hour just might get them to the hospital in time.
Doing a right turn here.
Obviously, if you're driving at high speeds and having to brake at those speeds, then your brake pads can get very hot. And there were a couple of occasions when we could smell a burning smell coming from the wheels.
Patrol cars are kept in tip-top condition to minimise the risk of breakdown. But in an emergency situation like this, where anything can happen, the backup car is there to take over.
As we turned into the Cromwell Road and the final approach to the hospital, we were very much on our own, especially when crossing over the junctions. It was very much a case of try and make as much progress as we could without inconveniencing other road users. But of course, again, trying to go against the clock.
The hospital is now less than a mile away, and the police have covered 1 mile every minute, a remarkable average speed of 60 miles an hour. But it's not over yet. This part of London is notorious for regular gridlocks. Although they're nearly there, there's one more problem to overcome.
I actually didn't know we were at the hospital. All I saw was Bill put a right-hand signal on, and I thought, oh, this doesn't seem a particularly main road. And then when we turned into, I don't know the name of the road, but alongside the hospital, because of traffic congestion, somebody sat there blocking the entrance to the hospital. And I think out of all of it, I think if I was going to say the wrong words, it would have been then to that motorist.
The police turn into the hospital at 12:25.